if I traded it all.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, listen up. This is going to be pretty interesting with me. I have Michael Weinberg. He's the owner of Exceptional Engineering Home Inspections. Now, you've been on the show now a few times, and today you said that you want to talk a little bit about what the most common mistakes that you see during roofing inspections. Now, listen up. Everybody probably hasn't had their roof looked at in a very long time. We're live on Facebook, so hi to everybody out there. Like us, follow us. We're going to be sharing this afterwards. And let me tell you, there's people out there that are buyers. There's also real estate agents that you want to talk to, too.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what makes you so exceptional.
What makes me so exceptional is
Besides you being Michael.
Besides me being Michael. Exceptional because I have the background, training. I'm a professional engineer as well as a certified home inspector. Give a comparison, about 8 weeks to become a home inspector, about 10 years to become a professional engineer.
Well, you better believe that you're going to get, and you get what I hate to say this, pay for.
This is true. And that ties in directly where most of the value proposition comes in. If we're looking at custom or luxury home market where people are making the large purchase, it's typically going to be that value that you see having the engineer look at it so that you can be sure about the investment you're making.
Now, let me ask you something, Michael. Today, when we talk about these roofing inspections that you see, right now, are you talking to both buyer and real estate agent at the moment?
I am. I'm talking to everyone on there, but particularly the people who are going to either be buying or listing. So the agents who represent both are going to want to key in on that, because if they're getting ready to list, they'll want to look at that because it's generally one of the bigger ticket items that comes up on the inspection. And oftentimes you can have that remedied ahead of time so that you can get the price that you want when you're listing.
Well, I want to ask you a few things before I get this out. Are you valley-wide?
Yes.
You're A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau.
That's correct.
Right? And you're insured.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And today you said that you wanted to do something special. What was that?
Yes. For all your listeners, we've had such great turnout. Kudos to all of your listeners out there. I get such great calls, asking questions, probing my mind, people who are listing their homes for the first time and getting ready. So all of that, I wanted to give a little bit of a payback for them. So anyone who calls in and mentions KFNX and Networking Arizona, if you have a home that's less than 2,500 square feet, then you will get a $50 discount on your inspection, as long as you mention the ad. And if you have a home between 2,500 and 4,000 square feet, you'll get $75 off. And for homes that are over 4,000 square feet in that custom luxury segment, you'll get $100 off just by mentioning this.
And I just want to ask you something, too, because you had told me that when they get this inspection, it's quite different than you would from anybody else.
Yes,
Explain what yours is. It's huge.
It is a huge difference, especially for the realtor as well as the buyer. So the parts that are similar, every state standard specifies what the home inspection has to have. The way you go about talking about the issues that you come across is much different between myself and other home inspectors. Me being an engineer, I seal the report, so I'm able to offer opinion. I'm able to offer estimated costs, whether that's a DIY, weekend project, whether you need a true professional, or whether you want to mix and match. Maybe do this part of it DIY and then have the professional come in and fill in. And I have all those costs, estimated times of repairs. That's all going to save the realtors out there plenty of time during the BINSA process.
Well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Okay, what's the most common mistakes that you see during inspections?
So I'll ask you, what do you think the 3 types of roofing we typically have here, if you had to guess?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know?
I thought it was, I said before, I know we have flat.
That's right.
And I do know we have shingles because I think I have shingles.
Yes.
I don't mean that kind of shingles, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. You're very close. 2 out of 3. And the last one is concrete tile.
Okay.
One of the other most prevalent roofing types. And those are for single-family residential homes. So the most common mistakes I see on either of those, or all of those really, is design related and the way that it's constructed. And then those manifest themselves in different ways. Take, for instance, a flat roof. One of the most common things that I see with that is poor drainage. When we say flat, it's really not entirely flat. It's going to have a minimal slope on it, and that's why it needs to be sealed with any number of different materials. But whatever material you're using, we want to make sure that it is craftsmanship, workmanship, all goes into having it properly slope and drain to the location. So one of the most common things I see is that they rush the job. You get ponding in certain areas, and you don't get routing towards the proper drainage or runoff location.
So when should they be calling you?
They should be calling me if they're going to be buying the home straight away for the inspection, so that I'm not coming there at the 8th day of the window after the regular home inspector identifies the problem but doesn't know what it is they're supposed to do, and then they call me anyway, and then I come out and say, this is how that's supposed to be repaired.
So if it's okay with you, I'm going to open up the lines of the audience. I
Love
just
it.
want to give them the opportunity, if you have a question that you might want to call in and ask about your roofs. We're talking roofs today, right?
Yes, we are.
This is a roofing show. The number is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Michael, you've been doing this for how long?
Almost 25 years.
25 years. So he is somebody that is experienced. He's exceptional in what he does. And not only that, but it makes him different is because he's an engineer, and it's just a completely different type of inspection that you're going to get.
That's right, the what and the why. I design homes as well as inspect them. And in fact, the inspection part of it fell out of the design. People were coming and asking me, did this inspector say this correctly, or is this true? And I kept and reviewed that work. Some were spot on, others weren't, and that just mushroomed out and led from there 25 years ago.
You're going to have your own show one day. I just love it. Okay, and now his website is Engineering Home Inspections with an S, and his phone number to call, it's 480-341-2664. He's valley-wide. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau, and he's insured. But we want you to know he is offering special discounts for people, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. I want for people to call in if you want a question about your roof, something that needs to be done. We were talking about the buyer and the real estate agent right now, too.
That's right.
Okay? So what else do you see?
Well, that was flat roofs. If we looked at shingle roofs, one of the most common, I had one just yesterday, was related to a roof that was ready and due to be redone. So they had placed the shingles and were ready to do that at the improper slope. So 4 and 12 is generally the minimum recommended by the roofing manufacturers. You could get away with as low as 2 and 12 slope. But
Who
this
would
one,
know whether there's a 2 and 12 or the whatever?
well, one sounds less steep than the other, maybe. But
Okay.
in general, the flat roofs, these are the ones that go over your covered patios. Almost all of our homes here in Arizona, we love our covered patios, getting outside in the beautiful Arizona weather. And so those roofs are made for flat roof type application, and that's not a shingle application. So that's what I saw there. The great thing is that I was out there, so that wasn't an extra call then for that real estate agent. We were already in the 7th day of the inspection window, so the fact that I was out there at that time, we provided the one-stop shop service to be able to talk about the fix.
And when it comes to the fix, you can tell them how to do it, whether they can do it themselves or what they need to do. Is that correct?
That's right. And in this case, while we would recommend that the whole roof be replaced, that wasn't in the budget. So now we have to think on our feet. And that years of experience we talked about earlier, 25 years, we thought about that, and the best way around that was to apply an elastomeric coating, move into the house, accept it as it is, it seals it in time, and then somewhere down the road, you're extending that service life, then you'll go ahead and replace the flat roof appropriately.
So again, if you're a realtor or even if you just own a home, I told you the last time you were on, I think people should be checking out their roofs at least once a year.
Once a year.
And you never do it. No one ever goes up on their roofs and looks at them.
They don't, and it corresponds directly with the change of seasons. You have trees surrounding the roofs. The debris that gathers there pushes water in places it's not supposed to go.
Well, so the house has been around, unless, let's say someone's been living, most people now don't live in the houses like they used to when 30 years they live in a house.
That's right.
So now it's different. Now every 5 or so years people are moving, maybe even sooner. But realistically, there are people that have literally never, ever, ever had their roof looked at. I mean, is it a good idea?
It is a good idea.
What could happen?
What could happen? We
Yeah.
could get leaks that propagate.
They happen all the time.
All the time, and then because we haven't looked at them in your scenario that you portrayed there, we haven't looked at them over time, and so they've gotten worse as opposed to being an easy fix and catching them in the beginning. Another thing to catch on what you were talking about people moving out sooner or recycling the home sooner, well, what happens there is people don't have a chance to experience a leak, so it never or rarely gets fixed, and so it propagates itself as it goes along in the buying and selling process. So it's crucial that you call someone like myself so that we can look at that and assess that, because sometimes the person that's been in there previously, only 1 or 2 years, they
Tell
don't
them
know.
what you're offering them for the listeners.
Oh, the discount, yes. For the listeners out there, again, $50 off home inspection for homes less than 2,500 square feet, 2,500 square feet to 4,000 square feet, $75 off. Anything over 4,000 square feet, $100 off.
He's valley-wide. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau. He's been doing this for 25 years, and he's different. He's different, and he can help you better than anybody else because he's an exceptional engineering inspector. How's that?
I like that.
The number to call him direct is 480-341-2664. The website is engineeringhomeinspections.com. He's valley-wide, and we can everybody calls during the break, as it's always like that.
It does,
so you know
right.
what, though? If you want a question and you want to ask him, he can answer right here on air for you. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You got to check him out. It's engineeringhomeinspections.com. I've also been on your website many times, and I also think there's a lot of information people there for them to see.
There is. I blog on there, so there's a lot of great information there.
Check it out. It's engineeringhomeinspections.com. We'll be back in just a second. Welcome back, everyone. And we have our lines open here because Michael Weinberg, he is the owner of Exceptional Engineering Home Inspections. And, we're talking roofing right now. And a lot of people out there don't realize that you really do have to check your roofs all the time. And monsoon season is up soon. Mm-hmm. And you were just saying that, and I don't mind, are you okay? I'm just going to throw this at you because you were just talking about it, that people right now are here, it's a big time for you. It's busy time. And what was the reason why?
Busy time. Everyone is getting ready for school to end, and maybe they've been thinking about purchasing a home, so they're going to be moving right so that they can get in and enjoy the summer in the new home, the new pool. And so it's a very busy time as sales ramp up.
Right. Now, we've got everybody that's, you're offering for people what?
Oh, yes. Anything under 2,500 square feet, $50 off. Between 2,500 square feet and 4,000 square feet is going to be $75 off. And anything over 4,000 square feet, $100 off for being a loyal listener.
And for anyone that didn't hear, tell them what makes you different.
What makes me different, I am an engineer, so I design homes, and I am also a certified home inspector. So you're going to be able to get all of that wrapped up, one-stop shop.
And he's valley-wide. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau. He's insured. The phone number direct, if you want to call him, it's 480-341-2664. The website is engineeringhomeinspections.com. He talks to both your buyer and that real estate agent out there. He's there for you guys, and he is different. So again, call him direct at 480-341-2664. And if you want to, you can also call in here if you have a question. Our number here, 602-277-5369. And he can answer some of them for you. Okay, we were talking shingles. What did we miss there? Anything?
We didn't miss anything, but the shingles and the tile roof are a little bit of a roofing type, different type than the flat roof or low slope roof. So in those particular applications, underlayment is the key. So having the proper underlayment and the proper...
How do you know if you have the proper underlayment?
It's difficult because oftentimes when we put gutters and other things, or we don't want the pigeons roosting underneath the tiles, they'll put bird stop in there. They're always up there. So it's a little bit difficult to tell. So we look in the key areas to get a feel for that. But that's an important aspect of it, the construction of the underlayment and the application of the underlayment as it goes under the shingles and underneath the concrete tiles.
Do people actually try and look at their own roofs and do it themselves? You said DIY. I don't understand that. Why would anyone even try that?
Well, there's a lot of good information out there, but there's also a lot of information. So understanding or assimilating that information without being overwhelmed is kind of key. And that's where that 25 years of engineering experience comes in. It shortens that down for you. So you may look at something and see it, you Googled it or looked.
I like to call it Dr. Google, right?
Dr. Google.
They knew everything.
And then you may have a question from that, and so they call me, and I help straighten them out and get them in the right direction.
That phone number to call him is 480-341-2664. He's valley-wide, rated with the Better Business Bureau, insured. Check him out. It's engineeringhomeinspections.com. Tile roofs.
tile roofs, yes. Concrete tile roofs, clay tile roofs, a little more fragile, thinner, different weights. So all sorts of things go into that, and the keys to that are the proper installation on all of those. So generally, a tile roof is going to be anywhere in the 9 to 10 pound per square foot range, and that allows it to sit there without having attachments at certain slopes, and then it's required to have attachments at other slopes. So looking at the roofing, being able to ascertain that, again, the experience
It's all about
pays
the
off.
slope.
The slope is, that's right. It has been all about the slope. That's right. We want the water off. Water is kind of the enemy when it comes to homes. You can get, especially with the way the homes are constructed nowadays, different than in the old days when they were a little more ventilated and open. Now they're all buttoned up, energy efficient, and because of that, you can get water where it's not supposed to be, and then it has nowhere to go. It creates an uncomfortable situation.
So, I see people getting roofs on their new roofs all the time. Do you, and maybe someone's listening right now and saying, Mata, I just got that done. I wonder if it was done correct. Do you do stuff like that too?
I do. I do that quite frequently, as a matter of fact. People will come on and they'll want me to do what's called a staged inspection because the roofing design and construction happens at different levels, and at different times they're doing different things. So me coming out to look or peek at the roof at those times, we can tell, is it going in properly, and avoid all of those other things that we talked about earlier.
That is a very good thing to do. So when we talk right now, I know you're saying buyers or sellers, but seriously, I've said this to you the last time you were on. When you're talking and I'm listening to you, I'm thinking everyone should have their roofs checked no matter what, whether you're just living in it, buying it, or selling it, or a realtor.
I would agree, especially because we've talked about just 3 different roofing types here today, but each of them has a different life expectancy. So getting up there on a yearly basis will depend and help you ascertain where the roof is in its useful life expectancy.
Wow, it's amazing. So, there's a lot to learn about your roofs. You didn't know that. And that's what I think. And there are a lot of people that will go online and kind of check things out and see, and they try it doing themselves. Don't.
Oh, well.
Or if you do, you're going to end up calling us. So write this number down. Our number here is 480. No, they're not. His number direct is 480-341-2664. What were you going to say?
That was what I was going to say. That number, 480-341-2664.
Okay, so, we have a little bit of time. What else would you like to talk? Let's talk about, for the realtor, what would make you someone that they should work with you.
Well, the realtor on either end, the roof aspect of it, since we're talking roofing, comes up quite a bit as a big ticket item, one that people want to know. And so just because I had mentioned the different life expectancies, you're going to get in a 1990s home, and if it's concrete tile, we're going to be coming up on that first sign of when the roofing underlayment will be reaching its typical life expectancy. If you have a home in the 80s, you're already there. So if you're moving into a home in the 80s, pay particular attention to the roof, whether the underlayment has been changed. If they've had a repair done, that might be a good thing because they've been up there to repair the underlayment since they're up there repairing that leak. So if they've done just a spot repair versus a total repair, so the agents would call me and I'll be able to tell them that, and that will help them offer the proper price or list at the proper price.
And also, if you're living in the home, you will mitigate any of the problems that you have. And by the way, one thing I also know about you is, let's say they want to change something. Right?
Ah, yes,
Let's
that's
talk
key.
about that.
Let's talk
That's
about
really
that.
key.
Roofing.
That's huge. That's huge.
Right. So in a roofing
That's what I'm
application,
here for, Michael.
I'm glad. I'm glad. For the roofing application, people may like the interior. They may love this layout, but they want to, say, have a different view in a particular room. And again, that may change the roof structure or geometry. Again, understanding that, I'll be able to point that out to them, give them rough estimates on what it would be to have that repair done, and take them through the process. And then they'll know, ooh, Michael, I didn't know it was this many months. Or, oh, wow, it can happen that quickly, and it's only that much? That's great. Sign me up.
The number to call is 480-341-2664. He's valley-wide. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau, insured, and his website is engineeringhomeInspections.com. So, okay, then that's a whole other thing that inside the house, you have said many times, one of the biggest questions that you get asked is what?
Associated with the remodel. Can I do this, or has it been done? You have that same 1980s home. Again, the homes were laid out differently then as they are now. The things that we wanted or had important versus kitchen islands or open layout, those types of floor plans have changed over the years. And in looking at the home, you'll want to have someone that can tell you. It might be painted, it might be all dressed up and look nice, but you want to know what's going on behind the scenes, and that engineering background is going to help you help me tell you what's going on there and let you know, has something changed with the alignment or configuration, which you should be aware of.
And why should they be aware of it?
Because when you're making those changes, sometimes you have to affect more than just that particular member. You may have to adjust the foundation, extend the slab, or do something like that, which requires compaction. Then again, that rate of compaction is different than the original, and we may have settlement. So you may have this nice feature happening right there for the next few months, and then all of a sudden we've got the regular routine settlement, which is going to create cracking or have some other type of situation that needs to be remediated.
So again, this is only homes, but we want you to understand that it doesn't matter whether you're a realtor, you're a buyer, if you're just living in your home. This is something that you should probably get going and have somebody have them come out right away, because the summer's upon us, and that, I mean, first of all, the monsoons are a killer.
That's right.
And everybody knows that there's so much damage that happens with the roofs. Why would you want to wait, right?
We wouldn't want to wait. And to your point, you asked about shingles when we came back from the break. So in the monsoon season, the shingle layout, the starter row is one of the other key mistakes that I see on a 3-tab shingle application. The way that they have the starter row, they're generally designed for 8 nails for the shingle layout. Sometimes if you nail too high up on the overlap, you'll only get 4 in a particular. And then now this summer monsoon comes through, tears off that tab, and now you have some sort of roof repair that you have to do that, had I been doing the inspection originally, you would have known that and had it repaired and asked for it in the binzer.
Well, I'll tell you something right now. This is what I can listen to you all day long. We're talking roofs, you know?
We're talking roofs, and it's
But there's
soothing.
so much. It's interesting as how much information there is just on a roof of a house.
There is a great deal of information. Again, it's one of the key elements. Typically, your transfer of loads happens at the roof line in that diaphragm area, as well as to the foundation and in the foundation area. So those two are the key.
He's valley-wide. He's rated with the Better Business Bureau and insured. He's offering everybody a special. You want to say it real quickly what it is?
Sure, real quick. $50 off for a home that's less than 2,500 square feet. $75 off for a home that's between 2,500 and 4,000, and $100 off for homes over 4,000 square feet.
Call him. The phone number is 480-341-2664.